Look, if you're a CFO, a finance director, or an operations leader at a growing business, you already know the story. Growth is absolutely fantastic, right up until you hit that operational wall. Today we're diving into LedgerAI. It's essentially the ultimate solution for finance teams who are just completely exhausted by what we call the SMB complexity tax. We're going to explore exactly how you can reclaim your time, lock down your data, and completely transform your back office. Let's get into it.
Think about the pure, visceral pain of a slow, manual month-end close. You know the drill, right? Subledgers absolutely refuse to reconcile, critical approvals are buried somewhere in a massive email chain, and your controller is literally running around the office chasing people down for signatures. It takes 2 weeks, sometimes more, and by the time you finally have the reports, the data's already stale. Now, contrast that reality with a streamlined 3-day close using LedgerAI. It's unified, it's highly automated, and it operates with strict deterministic security. It's a total paradigm shift.
So I've got to ask, is your growing business paying this complexity tax? Are you relying on fragile spreadsheets that seem to constantly fight each other? Are your sales teams working in disconnected CRMs while your accounting tools exist in a completely different universe? And maybe even more worryingly, are you experimenting with third-party AI SaaS copilots that might actually be piping your highly sensitive ledger data out to some vendor's cloud? Because that puts your compliance at massive risk. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is the exact roadmap we'll cover today to show you how to fix this mess. 1. The SMB complexity tax. 2. Sovereign deployment assures security. 3. Grounded AI automates routine tasks. 4. Unifying sales, HR, and finance. And 5. From deployment to first close.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the SMB complexity tax.
Listen, if you're directing finance, your current tech stack probably wasn't carefully designed from the top down. It just kind of accreted over time as the company scaled. You end up with this Frankenstein patchwork of disconnected software that creates a massive operational burden. You've got spreadsheets that don't talk to each other, sales logs their deals in one system, but finance tracks the invoices in another, meaning nobody, and I mean nobody, truly knows the real margin on a project. And when companies try to solve this, well, they usually either risk their data with AI tools that want your ledger in their cloud, or they drop 6 figures on a Fortune 500 ERP that takes 2 years to implement and that the team absolutely hates using.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, Sovereign Deployment Assures Security.
Now, this is the core differentiator of LedgerAI, and it's going to instantly soothe any CFOs or IT directors' security anxieties. So, the crucial point is this: LedgerAI is not a shared multi-tenant SaaS application that holds your sensitive data hostage. No way. It is an on-premise fortress. Your data, your servers, your keys, the cloud is optional, not required. Your books literally never leave your company boundary unless you physically copy them out yourself.
The deployment flexibility here is honestly incredible. You can deploy it anywhere. You can run Docker or Kubernetes. Drop it in your own data center, a single virtual private server, or host it on your own AWS, GCP, or Azure accounts. And for the ultimate peace of mind, especially for internal IT and statutory accountants, it's ready to be fully air-gapped using local large language models. You bring your own AI keys, your own single sign-on providers, and this is huge. There are absolutely zero telemetry pipes silently sending your data back to a vendor's cloud.
Moving right along to Section 3, Grounded AI automates routine tasks.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Pragmatic finance leaders rightly worry about AI just hallucinating random numbers into their ledger. But LedgerAI solves this with what they call grounded AI. And this brilliantly illustrates how you get powerful automation, but with strict administrative seatbelts. It operates on a 3-step process so the AI never runs wild. First, propose. The AI never writes directly to your database. It just drafts a proposal using strictly typed tools. Second, approve. These proposals are risk-scored. Low-risk items might auto-execute based on your organization's custom trust style, but the material actions, those land in a single decision inbox for human review. Third, execute. Once a human actually clicks approve, the action is executed in a single transaction with a full, tamper-evident audit trail.
And the way you interact with this is so smooth. You use everyday /commands to automate the boring 80% of your daily workflows. You just type /quotation in the chat to instantly draft a project P&L. Type /forecast to log a deal. You can use /bill to snap a photo of a vendor invoice, and the AI's OCR reads it and drafts the bill against your chart of accounts, or /journal to effortlessly draft balanced entries. It's incredibly intuitive, and honestly, it saves hours of manual data entry every single week.
All right, let's pivot a bit to Section 4, unifying sales, HR, and finance.
So we've talked a lot about the CFO's perspective, but a back office isn't just finance. Now, what's really interesting about this is how 12 different modules make up LedgerAI into one coherent database, benefiting the entire company. Because everyone is sharing the same ledger, finance gets their magical 3-day close and AI bank reconciliations. But sales and RevOps, they get a pipeline where a CRM forecast converts directly into a quotation, which then auto-builds a project P&L with real vendor costs. And HR gets an employee hub for timesheets and leave. It creates one true, unified source of truth across all departments. And to all the auditors and statutory accountants out there listening, you can relax. Whether a sales rep is clicking through a classic web form or a project manager is using an AI chat /command, the underlying database handles it the exact same way. Every single write has a tamper-evident audit trail, strict role-based access control, and it generates the exact standard reports, P&L, balance sheet, trial balance, that your auditor is going to demand at year-end. Solid, reliable, deterministic compliance.
Finally, Section 5, from deployment to first close. If you're a pragmatic operations leader, you need a highly predictable, risk-free rollout. You hate surprises. I get it. LedgerAI is deployed the way true enterprise software should be. First, a discovery call to map user counts and modules. Second, a deep dive architecture review to align with your specific security baseline. Third, a transparent commercial proposal without any of those sneaky per-transaction surprise fees. Fourth, they build and ship the artifacts right through your secure channel. And step 5 is absolutely critical, a joint go-live. This is a mandatory deployment engagement where their engineers help stand up the system, ensuring your infrastructure and AI posture are perfectly configured to your security standards from minute zero.
Let's move on and see how this builds out into an incredibly fast 4-week timeline. Day 1, you spin up the environment in an afternoon via Docker. Week 1, you import your chart of accounts and opening balances. Week 2, you onboard your team via SSO and map out their roles. And by month 1, boom, you are executing your very first fast close on LedgerAI. In fact, most teams cut their close time in half on their very first attempt.
And of course, you aren't just left hanging after that first month. Because let's face it, enterprise software without support is basically just a really expensive paperweight. They offer annual support tiers, ensuring mission-critical stability, all the way up to enterprise with 24/5 production support. Plus, they provide live, instructor-led training tailored by role. They even record it for you for your library, so when you hire someone new, they can just watch it on their first day. So, we've covered a ton of ground today, from defeating the SMB complexity tax to mastering that 3-day close with secure, grounded AI. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Are you ready to stop renting your back office and finally own it? It is time to reclaim your time, your data, and your operational sanity. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this gave you a really clear picture of what a true sovereign finance OS can do for your business.